everyone, and welcome to the next in our series of the tarot cards combined with the Tree of Life and astrology. And this particular set of 3 cards is under the influence of the astrological sign Gemini, and I've got a very particular title for this one. This one is called The Path of the Lovers. And this is a most strange and unusual journey we're about to embark upon. So what I'm going to do first of all, I'm going to show you the card for the lovers. There is actually so much detail in this card I could elaborate at length, so I will confine myself. But there's a lot going on here. The first thing that you might perhaps notice is the lovers themselves. And what we get is we've got a lot of mirror imaging of opposites here. So the groom is black with black hair and he has a black crown on. He has a gold crown on. The bride is white with golden hair with a dark crown on. And if you look at the imagery, it goes into an enormous amount of detail with all the beings. They are being married by the hermit, these lovers. That's a big hooded being above them who's got his hands above them. Then below them there are the 2 magical children, again a black and a white child. And there's also a white eagle and a red lion. And all of this symbolism and imagery is highly significant, and the beauty of it is it affects us on a subconscious level. So this is not really something that is addressing your rational mind. There's just so much richness in this particular card. The last image I will draw our attention to is the Orphic egg, which is right at the very centre of the bottom of the card with a snake wrapped around it. There is so much going on here, and rather than divert yourself with it, I'm going to go straight to the nub of this one. So the Path of the Lovers begins with the first card, which is Interference, and here's the card. Most unusual card when you look at it. So what you've got is you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rather curvy, unusual shaped swords, and they have these 2 straight swords overlaying them. The astrology of this one is Jupiter and Gemini. So Jupiter always symbolises gifts. So this is the gift of Gemini. Now, just to take a little step back, Gemini, above all else, is a sign which is influenced by the element of air. So therefore communication is primary, primal and fundamental to this sign. Everyone who's born in this sign, the impulse to communicate is very strong indeed, by whatever means it may be. The other thing you notice about the cards in the background, there's these red lines and angles, so there's a sharpness about this card. That's the next thing to notice. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. I promised I would do this, and this is the time I'm going to do it. So just to give you the rationale behind which the whole thing works, this is what it is. There are 360 degrees in a circle, and each astrological sign takes up 30 degrees. So 12 times 30 gives you 360. Each astrological sign is divided into 3 decanates, like 3 sections. And so here we are on the first section of Gemini. Now here's the important thing to understand. It's really quite miraculous that this has been put together. The idea is that putting each decanate with the minor arcana card, which is within the major arcana card. So the major arcana card is the lovers, so that's the one we thought to start with. And this is the first of the 3 minor arcana cards. So the idea is as follows. During that period that you can see on the screen there, for that 10-day period, what it means to say is that this energy of the 8 of Swords is a subtle underlying energy which is affecting us all on a subliminal level. Now, if a person is born in that particular period, then this energy is going to have even more significance for them. So I know for myself, I was born in the 3 of Wands virtue, so the underlying issue I'm facing all the time is it right? Is the thing that I'm doing right? Is it right? Is it wrong? Is it right? Is it not right? That's my overriding subconscious principle which is operating even when I'm not aware of it. Now imagine that the person is born in this particular time period and their overlighting influence is interference. Well, that sounds like quite a heavy track to follow, doesn't it, really? Interference, thinking about it. And I know a number of people born in this card, and it's fascinating to watch it play itself out. And here's the thing I want to say, is that interference can be regarded to be a negative quality, but it can also be used positively as well. And I do remember someone whose name I will not mention, who put probably way over 50 clients in my direction. It was when I was offering all my healings on the pay-it-forward basis, in other words, no money, because I wanted to really get it out there and allow people who had not got the financial wherewithal to be able to afford it, receive the healing of the universal soul retrieval, and pay it forward by doing a favour for somebody else. That was the principle behind that. And so this person then went to use interference in the most positive way possible, which is that she had lots of conversations with many of her friends, and she suggested to them that they might really benefit from this healing. By so doing, she was interfering with the track of their life, because they weren't thinking about having this particular form of healing. So that's an example of how it can be used in a really helpful way. Okay, so now let's go and look at some other things. Let's go to the path of the lovers. This is what I want to focus on. There are two most famous paths of the lovers, and one of them is Romeo and Juliet, written by Shakespeare, known the world over. The other one, not quite so well known, is the Bollywood film called Devdas. It's the same story. It's very dramatic, very beautiful in each case. So what happens is two people meet each other. There is a soul connection. They know that there is a link. The love blossoms between them. Their hearts open, and they are in love. The first thing that is likely to happen to two lovers who fall in love is they will experience a manifestation of interference. And in the classic stories of Devdas and Romeo and Juliet, what you get is you get the lovers having interference from the families. So in the case of Romeo and Juliet, who remember the Montagues and the Capulets, and those families are basically at loggerheads, at war with each other. So how on earth can Romeo and Juliet be together when their families hate each other? Ultimate nightmare. It's a mythic story, the one we're being told here. So this is how the path of the lovers begins, as the people get together, the soul connections make the hearts open, and then they have to deal with interference. Now that's a melodramatic situation, Romeo and Juliet and Devdas. Let's give you a much more mundane situation. Perhaps the lovers live 300 miles apart when they meet. And then the next thing they face is the interference of, we love each other, we want to be with each other, but we've both got lives, we've got jobs, they may have children, they've got families. That's how things can interfere with their love burgeoning, even if there's nothing dramatic going on. Or it can simply be a matter of the fact that one person is working days and the other person is working nights. There's so many ways this can work out for the people. So let us work now to transform interference, the Eight of Swords. So here we are, those are the colours, number 57. So here we are, we do the process as before, the transubstantiation process, with the glass of water on the card, using these words of power, stating them 3 times to draw the energy from the colours in the card into the water, drinking the water, taking on the qualities. And this is what the interference card gets transformed into. Are you ready for this? I let go and trust the process of life. I let go and trust the process of life. I let go and I trust the process of life. This is without doubt one of the most profound spiritual teachings. This is the fundamental message for anyone who studies Kundalini Yoga. It's also the fundamental message for anyone who comes on the Nature's Medicine retreat. Let go, let go, let go. So this is a way to do it with this card. So you can see the image, and there is Pallas Athena. This is one of the goddesses from the Greek pantheon. The Eight of Swords, all about letting go. So isn't that strange that it begins with interfering with other people, the interference card, and it ends up with letting go and trusting the process of life. So a little detail for you. The Eight of Swords is all about creativity and right livelihood. It's about attention to detail. There is a love of beauty and aesthetics, an understanding of dreams and working with the dream life. To know or to sense that everything is just a dream. And this is what Shakespeare said. All the world's a stage and we are but players on it. Life is but a dream. Life is but a dream. This helps us to do what is appropriate in relation to right livelihood. And this is the quality that we bring to what we do. And this is how this card is transformed. This has to be one of the most rich spiritual teaching cards that we've come across so far in the Wheel of the Year, when you think about it. Absolutely extraordinary. There's so much there. To know or to sense that life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is just a dream. Okay, thank you very much.